So me putting myself in this scenario and liking it is not okay. Okay. Well, my therapist has a lot to answer for. Gotta make sure we got our comfy womfy on while we do this, okay? Hey guys, welcome back to Booksy Babes. It's your girl Lexi, aka Purple Headband Girl, on all social media platforms. Today, I thought it'd be a fun idea. I saw this video on TikTok. The TikToker, she raised a question: if you had to evacuate your home, what book would you bring? And I'm like, asking me to do that is like asking me to pick my favorite child. And I have three, so let's get into this. Now, if in the event that I had to evacuate my home, I would bring the three books. If you know me and you know my TikTok account, these books should not surprise you. Okay. These are dark romance books, so please read the trigger warnings. Trigger warnings are your friends. But first we're just gonna get out the way because you saw it coming. All He'll Ever Be by Willow Winter. Steph, Midnight, we were on live one day and she was like, I was trying to tell her about a book, a Beauty and the Beast retelling that I had saw, just like scrolling through book talk looking for book recommendations. And I'm like, oh, it was a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I was describing the cover to her. She's like, I don't know that book that you're talking about, but I do have a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And she showed me this book. I read the synopsis on it and I'm like, oh, interesting. So basically, this follows Carter and Ari. Carter is a mafia king and Ari is his enemy's daughter. So in Beauty and the Beast fashion, Carter kidnaps her and he keeps her to wage a war because hello, we love toxic men. And he does so in probably the most unhinged and traumatic way. Like, you, sir, you do not have to do that to this girl. Without giving away any spoilers, I fell in love with this book mainly because I'm not altogether up there, and that's okay. But another reason is because just the overall love story, yes, it's very traumatic, but the overall love story between Ari and Carter is just chef's kiss, okay? And the character development, he has a way of getting shit done, but also letting Ari know that over time he really does start to care for her. And she sort of accepts the situation that she's in, and she starts to care for him, literally like Beauty and the Beast. It's almost like the story. But I will not shut up about this book, and I will not go anywhere without this book. I carry this book around with me even though I've read it twice. This book was so good. I read and she's thick. Okay, she's thick. Let's not ignore that. She's 780 pages. I've read the physical copy twice, and I also bought it on Kindle. That's how good this book is. Don't shoot me, shoot the messenger. And it's kind of funny because I distinctly remember telling my husband about this book because I was like, babe, this book is so good. This is what happened. This is what happened. And he did this and he did that. And the look on his face, he's like, babe, that's not okay. And I'm like, oh, so me putting myself in this scenario and liking it is not okay. Okay, well, my therapist has a lot to answer for. The second book I would save without a doubt is Her Soul to Take by Holly LaRoe. This was my very first dark romance, and I mean like very first dark romance. I went from reading a book like Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover to straight to this. This was slightly spoiled for me. Again, scrolling through book talk looking for book recommendations because I was sort of in a slump, and someone was reviewing this book and Her Soul for Revenge, the second book, and basically was saying that like, hey, this paranormal literally deals with a literal demon, and I'm like, not something I would see myself reading, but I'll give it a try. And I literally fell in love with this book. This follows Rayleigh and Leon, aka Ray and Leon. Ray is a paranormal a YouTuber, podcaster. She does like the emo stuff. And Leon is a legit demon who has a soul tie to a book. Now, the thing about this book is if you have this book and you summon Leon, you without question, like and he takes your soul with him. And he takes your soul with him. Rayleigh gets this book, and when she goes through the process of summoning him, he realizes that it's her, and he's like, "No, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna take you forever, and you're going to be mine." And he does. Again, this has touch her, you energy, and I love that. I eat that up. Again, with the character development, Rayleigh becomes a bad in this book. Okay, you can't tell her nothing. And I love that for her. And Leon, again, he gives off very much Damon Salvatore. That's exactly who Leon reminds me of in this book. And Rayleigh's Elena, boom, Vampire Diaries. Hello. I mean, except it's not Vampire Diaries, it's with demons, but still. They give that same energy, and I was here for it. This will always be a special place in my heart. Yes, you probably can't see it from where Chucky is, but obviously I have Haunting and Haunting Adeline. I love me some Zade Meadows, but controversial take, don't burn me at the stake. Don't burn me at the stake, okay? I know how you girls like to tussle. There are better men out there than Zade Meadows. Sorry, I said it. Okay, I'm sorry, but there are. Sorry, Delaney, but there are. Okay, I've read so many, and I kind of went through like a mafia stage. Okay, even though Leon isn't a mafia, but I went through a mafia stage, and reading Unhinged Toxic Men, I'm like, oh yeah, Zayd's up there, but compared to Carter Cross, he's base level. And someone else who can vouch for me is Miss Steph, who I put her onto this book and another book, That's Sick Love, which I love that book, but I wouldn't save it. I'm sorry, Arrow. I wouldn't save that book, but I made her read this book and that book. She's like, oh, yeah, Zayd is base level, and he is. Sorry, not sorry. I said it. Coming in hot, the granddaddy, the Mac Daddy, Dom by S.J. Tilly. What can I say about this book? When he told her that he was buying her a new bag because hers had broke at the airport, I thought, oh my God, that's so sweet. When he gave her his suit jacket on the airplane because she was cold, I thought, oh my God, I'm literally settling for the bare minimum. When they got off the plane and then fucked in the lactation station at the airport after barely knowing each other for like 6 hours, I knew this was not a book to play with. Dom follows Valentine and Dominic Gonzalez. Valentine is King's younger half sister, and Dom is the head of the Chicago Mafia. It's very important to know these things because Valentine's older brother King is the head of Alliance series, which is what this whole series is about. It follows Nero, King, Dom, and Hans, which I would do a video about Hans because Hans was so unhinged, okay? And I loved it. I was here for it, okay? I very much ship Hans and Nero, okay? But this is Valentine is King's younger half sister, and Dom desperately needs King's help. Now, King and Dom do not get along. Obviously, they're the head of two different mafias, but they really don't get along. But Dom desperately needs his help. And he, not thinking clearly, is like, "Oh, I know a way I can get his help. I'm going to trick his younger sister into marrying me. And then I'm going to hold her hostage. I'm going to make her fall in love with me." That's it. She eventually does. Again, it kind of comes off a little Stockholmy, I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of the deal with all three of these books. I'm sorry, with all four of these books. I forgot about Hans. Jesus Christ, sorry Hans. But I loved this book because I've never loved, hated, and then fell in love with a man all over again. You don't get that twist until about chapter 25, 24, where he reveals his true intentions, or his true reason why he tricked Valentine into marrying him, again, is because he desperately needed King's help, but didn't know how to be a man about it and just asked. But throughout the book, you start to understand why Dom is the way that he is. One thing about Dom is that he is all about family.
I don't have friends. I got family.
And when someone threatens his family, he goes into beast mode and he does not give a damn. He doesn't, he don't, or hell, you know what I mean? Um, and there is, you see the switch between Dom being protective and Dom being the boss. Anything has to do with Valentine, oh, you best not disrespect her in any way. And if you do, don't let Dom hear it, because he will literally put on brass knuckles and cave your chest in. There's an actual scene where this happens. He and Valentine opening up and not only accepting her situation, but embracing the fact that, hey, I have a man who genuinely cares about me. Did he go about it the wrong way? Yeah. But at the end of the day, when it comes to me, he does not. He doesn't play. And that's sort of I'm not gonna lie, Val kind of becomes a little insufferable a little bit in this book. Just a tad bit, because her whole character arc is she's never really had a real family. Her mom was a mistress to King and Aspen's father, so Valentine was an illegitimate child, and he passed away at a very young and crucial age for Valentine. So when she found out that her and her mom were side pieces, that just became her whole personality. Is, oh, I never really had a real family, so I'm just doomed. 40 chapters of that, it starts to become a little too much. Okay, I'm just being honest. But at the end, they do learn to love each other, and it could be just my mental state just being like, oh, that's so cute. Y'all want to know what's cute? What I think is cute? What I think is, oh my god, it's so sweet. Valentine opens up to Dom one night and she tells about the time that her mother committed sewer slide, and how she was alone, and how King and Aspen were nowhere to be found, and how she had to deal with and pay for everything herself instead of getting help from her older siblings. And that touched Dom, again, being all about family. Dom was like, I'm going to give her the family she deserves. So he swaps out her birth control and purposely got her pregnant so that she could have the family she deserved. Am I settling for the bare minimum? Because, like, I want to be forced to get pregnant. Oh my god, it's so sweet. Oh my god. Oh my god. And obviously, this next one goes without saying. I found a loophole because she said books off the bookshelf. She didn't say I couldn't bring my Kindle. I'm bringing my Kindle. I'm paying for Kindle Unlimited for a reason. All these books I can read on Kindle, so I'm really not missing out on much. Will I miss my beautiful bookshelf that I spent time putting together, organizing, and putting my little doodads on? Yes, of course. It's going to hurt me, but those books will eventually be replaced. All right, so... All right, you guys. Well, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you guys had so much fun. I had fun making this and talking about my favorite books. Also, I meant to say something about All He'll Ever Be. All He'll Ever Be is what 365 Days tried to be. I watched all 3 movies and I have all 3 books. All He'll Ever Be is what 365 Days tried to be. All you Massimo girlies, I'm sorry, but it's true. All right, guys, please give us a like, subscribe, show us some love, get us off the ground. I promise you more and more content coming your way. Please follow me on both TikTok and Instagram at Purple Headband Girl, and I will see you guys next time.